Episode 16. Tanhua felt bad when she heard that she would trouble the driver if she insisted on going home now, while the driver himself nearly pressed on the stop pedal all of a sudden. "Driver, what the hell are you saying, boss?" Utter nonsense. It was true that the driver would go home at 10 p.m., but as his boss, Nanshen actually could order the driver to take Tanhua home, even if it took a long time to do so. And Nanshen indeed often made the driver work overtime. Then, why didn't he do it? Simple, because Nanshen had just changed his mind. He wanted to look at Tanhua's design as soon as possible, so he thought it would be better for Tanhua to stay at his house tonight. Also, he felt pity that if Tanhua went home now, Tanhua would arrive very late, and this might affect Tanhua's attendance tomorrow. He wanted Tanhua to come to work as usual, to bully him more. If Tanhua didn't come, then it would be so boring for him. And it would be fun if he could bully this boy when he stayed over at his house. Just thinking about it made him feel excited. So, what method should he use to bully this boy tonight? If I will trouble Uncle Driver, then I will stay over in your house, boss." Tanhua gave up when she knew she would be troubling someone else. She didn't want to make things difficult for this kind uncle. "Driver. Oi oi, you're fooled, boy. Never ever trust this devil." Good choice, go home now." Nanshen had a satisfied smile on his face as he went back to his phone. He put earphones in his ears and seemed to be busy. The driver quickly drove the car to Nanshen's mansion as he was afraid that the little boy would change his mind soon. Along the way, Tanhua could only stare daggers at Nanshen, who was busy playing with his smartphone. He was not playing actually, he was working. She couldn't trouble Uncle Driver, and now she had to enter a tiger den. What was Nanshen thinking? Allowing her to stay over at his house? Was he planning to bully her to death again? What if he secretly had a liking for a younger boy than himself? Maybe he was secretly a gay. Tanhua looked at her shabby-looking old flip phone and sighed again. If it's like this, then she had to tell Shenling that she would stay over at her boss's house. She didn't know what would happen to her, so it was better to inform that silly god in case she really couldn't go back forever. "Shenling, I'm going to enter a tiger den today. I will share the location later, in case I am dead. Don't wait for me to come home tonight. Just pray that I will be fine. Send." At Tanhua's house, ping! Shenling, who was currently sleeping like a log, was suddenly awake when he heard the loud bell coming from his old shabby-looking phone. Shenling rubbed his eyes as he opened his phone, and when he read the message sent by Tanhua, he nearly broke his phone into two. What did she say? Entering a tiger den? Is she going to sleep at the zoo? Why? Shenling, of course, didn't know the phrase, tiger den, so he thought Tanhua was being bullied by her coworker and somehow maybe trapped inside a zoo, moreover, in a tiger den. Shenling immediately stood up and rushed to search for every zoo in his town, and of course the zoo in the neighboring town too. He didn't wait for Tanhua to share her location, as he was too panicked. "Tanhua, wait for me! Nanshen's mansion." The car went past the big automatic gate and went ahead, passing the big front yard of Nanshen's house. Right after passing the big front yard, a tall and imposing futuristic modern-style building stood quietly in front of them. Wah, so cool. Like in a sci-fi movie. This isn't like her European-style mansion at all. Even the front yard they passed just now was filled with man-made plants, as expected of a tycoon. Clap brum. The driver left after dropping Nanshen and Tanhua right in front of the mansion door. Pip. Nanshen casually pressed the door, and the door automatically opened by itself. It seemed that the technology here was the same as her world. It was kinda cool. When the two of them entered the house, Tanhua thought that Nanshen would have a lot of servants like she had back in her world, and all of them would line up and greet them. But what happened next surprised her. Instead of servants greeting them, what Tanhua saw was a row of robots in human shape, dressed like servants, giving their greetings to Nanshen. "Welcome home, young master." The voice of the robots filled the lobby with a futuristic design. Nanshen nodded his head as he strode over to his study room on the second floor, of course, while dragging Tanhua so that she wouldn't stray away. Tanhua looked over the big house and found it strange that she didn't see even a single human there aside from her and Nanshen. The cook, the maid, the gardener, all of them were robots in the shape of humans, which we used to call humanoids. The house itself already had a super modern vibe, but added with these humanoids, Tanhua felt as if she was in the future. It wasn't weird to have humanoids exist in this world, as this world was quite similar to her world, but she didn't expect Nanshen's house to have so many humanoids. The price of one humanoid alone may cost around 1 million or maybe $1 billion, but Nanshen had around 30 humanoids in his house. Super rich, but still, Tanhua felt a little weird. Back in her mansion, she would be greeted with the sight of many servants doing their job cheerfully. The atmosphere was good and warm, but this house seemed silent and cold. The humanoids didn't speak when they weren't required to, so the whole mansion was eerily silent. So Nanshen was living alone in a mansion as big as this? He didn't live with his big family? Nanshen had quite a harmonious family, so she didn't expect him to live alone. It was lonely, wasn't it? Living by yourself in a house as big as this with only robots to accompany you. Tack. A loud noise startled Tanhua from her deep thought as she looked toward the source of the noise. She saw it was Nanshen tapping his finger on his table. Done daydreaming? Nanshen raised his eyebrow as he cupped his face in his hand. Ah, me? Tanhua had an oblivious look on her face. Yeah, who else? You are the only one in this room. Nanshen crossed his legs handsomely as he drank a hot coffee on his table. Only then did Tanhua realize that, while she was thinking, they had arrived at Nanshen's study room. The room was spacious and neat. The wall had a futuristic vibe with a projector, hologram, and so many weird things she had only seen on TV. Aish, it seemed that this devil was way richer than her and her parents. Okay then, let's finish the design and quickly go to sleep. Tanhua then quickly sat down on an iron chair as she looked at Nanshen with innocent eyes, as if saying that she was ready at all times. Nanshen, who saw Tanhua sit at a seat quite far from his seat, frowned unconsciously. Hey, why are you sitting so far away? It's not like I'm going to eat you. Sit here. Nanshen pointed at a chair right beside his chair when he saw how Tanhua very quickly chose to sit far away from his table. Why the hell did this boy always try to maintain a distance from him? Tanhua actually was reluctant to sit next to Nanshen's chair, but for the sake of getting enough sleep, she obeyed Nanshen's wish. Why are you so reluctant to be near me? Am I that scary? When Tanhua had sat beside Nanshen, Nanshen very deliberately moved closer and whispered next to Tanhua's ear. A devil whisper. I need holy water. Tanhua hurriedly rubbed her itchy ear as she moved several inches away from Nanshen without blushing at all. This devil must have wanted to tease her again. Oof. She wasn't that easy to be bullied, you know? Nanshen, who saw Tanhua's normal reaction, couldn't help but lose interest in teasing the boy. Aish, it's not fun if this boy doesn't react at all. Should he try another method? Ahem. So what is it you want me to design? Tanhua quickly cut Nanshen's thought as somehow she had goosebumps looking at Nanshen's side profile. She didn't know why, but she had a feeling that this devil was going to tease her again. She better finish the design as fast as she could, and go to sleep. So scary. Right, make me a bracelet for everyday use. Nanshen's thought was cut by Tanhua's question, so he began to focus on his business, getting Tanhua to make a design for him. Your company is a fashion company, not a jewelry company, right? Why the hell do I have to make a bracelet design? Tanhua tilted her head in confusion, but this only made a certain devil's desire to tease her pique. If you want to know the answer, how about giving me a kiss on my cheek? Nanshen had the mood to tease Tanhua again, so he slowly came closer and stroked Tanhua's cheek with his finger.